I thought the Westbrook Confessions page was just where bored students went to ruin lunch. I was wrong. One anonymous post did something 10 years of rivalry never managed to do. It turned Ryan and me into a couple. My name is Aiden Miller. And before you ask, no, Ryan Smith and I did not start as some cute childhood best friends who secretly liked each other. We started as neighbors, which was worse. Ryan moved into the house 3 doors down from mine when we were both 8 years old. Before that, I had a pretty good life on Maple Street. I knew every kid in the neighborhood. I knew who had the best backyard for hide and seek, whose mom made the best lemonade, and which driveway was smooth enough for scooters. Then Ryan showed up. He came with messy hair, scraped knees, a soccer ball under one arm, and the kind of smile that made adults say, "What a charming boy." I hated that sentence immediately. At first, I did not hate Ryan. Not exactly. I just hated how quickly everyone noticed him. The neighborhood kids wanted him on their team. The younger kids followed him around because he ran faster than everybody else. Even the adults at summer barbecues acted like he was some kind of tiny celebrity because he could kick a ball straight into an empty soda can. I could sing. I could tell stories. I could make people laugh if I had enough time. But Ryan did not need time. Ryan just existed, and people looked. So naturally, I decided he was my enemy. It started small. If Ryan scored 3 goals in the park, I would climb higher on the jungle gym. If I made the other kids laugh during a sleepover, Ryan would suddenly suggest a game outside, and everyone would follow him. If Ryan got picked first for kickball, I would pretend I did not care. I cared. A lot. Once, at my 10th birthday party, Ryan beat me at a backyard race in front of everyone. I smiled because my mom was watching, but inside, I was already planning revenge. By middle school, the competition became quieter. Less yelling. More pretending. Ryan became the athletic one. Soccer games. Gym class hero moments. Easy confidence in the hallway. By junior year, he was already one of the captains of the soccer team. I became the guy who did well in class presentations, sang at school events, and somehow always knew what to say when teachers asked for volunteers. We were not friends. We were not enemies either. We were something more exhausting. Neighbors who knew too much about each other. Rivals who never officially admitted we were rivals. Then junior year happened. One Monday morning, I walked into school and noticed people looking at me. Not normal looking. The kind of looking that meant someone had posted something. My best friend Mason shoved his phone in front of my face before I even reached my locker. "Aiden," he said, already laughing. "You need to see this." On the screen was the Westbrook Confessions page. The post had no name. Just one stupid question. Who is Westbrook's real heartthrob, Ryan or Aiden? I stared at it. Then I looked across the hallway. Ryan was standing near his locker in his soccer jacket, holding his own phone. He looked up at the exact same time. For 1 second, neither of us moved. Then Ryan smiled. Not a friendly smile. A challenge. I smiled back before I could stop myself. And just like that, the boy next door and I stopped competing in silence. We went public. For the record, I did not care about that confessions post. That was what I told Mason. Then I checked it 6 times before first period. By lunch, the comments had turned into a full debate. Not the whole school losing its mind or anything dramatic like that. Westbrook High still had math tests, cafeteria pizza, and people pretending they understood chemistry. But the post was everywhere enough. In group chats, at lockers, in hallway whispers. Some students said Ryan was the obvious choice because he was athletic, confident, and looked annoyingly good in a soccer jersey. Others said I had a better chance because I could sing, talk my way through anything, and did not look like I had been raised by a protein shake. Mason read one comment out loud while I opened my milk carton. "Ryan has natural charisma." I rolled my eyes. Mason grinned. Someone else said you have clean academic boyfriend energy. I nearly choked. Please never say that again. Across the cafeteria, Ryan looked up. From his table. Of course he had heard. Of course he smiled. That was the problem with Ryan. He did not need to say anything to be irritating. He just existed with confidence. So I did the only mature thing. I made it worse. That Friday, I performed during the lunch courtyard event for the music club. Just one song. Acoustic guitar. Nothing huge. But enough people stopped to listen. Enough phones came out. Enough comments appeared under the confessions post that afternoon. Okay, but Aiden's singing? Ryan better be nervous. I told myself I was above it. Then I liked the comment from a private account. The next day, Ryan scored twice during a home soccer game, and somehow got half the bleachers chanting his name. Someone posted a clip of him sliding across the grass after the second goal, laughing like he had personally defeated gravity. The caption was simple: Ryan answers back. I stared at the video on my bed that night. Then I sat up. Absolutely not. The following Monday, I coincidentally brought my guitar outside after school and sat near the practice field. Not on the field. That would have been obvious. Just close enough. A few students gathered. I played a song. People listened. Ryan missed a pass. I pretended not to notice. He did notice. After practice, he walked past me with his gym bag over one shoulder. His hair was damp, his face still flushed from running. You lost? He asked. I looked up from tuning my guitar. No, I just enjoy fresh air. Ryan glanced at the small group still lingering nearby. Fresh Air has a fan club now. I smiled. Jealous. His jaw tightened just a little. Beautiful. Then came my best idea. A small weekend benefit concert at school to raise money for new microphones and speakers for the music room. It was harmless. It was useful. It was also going to put my name on a banner across the auditorium stage. For educational reasons, obviously. By Friday afternoon, the banner was already up. Westbrook Music Room Benefit Concert under it, in smaller letters. Featuring Aiden and friends, I stood in the auditorium after last bell, looking at it with deep artistic pride. Then I heard Ryan's voice outside the side doors. I forgot something. In my locker, he told one of his teammates. That was a lie. Ryan's locker was nowhere near the auditorium. I waited until the hallway went quiet, then followed him. The school was almost empty by then. Most students had gone home. Soccer practice had ended early because gray clouds were rolling in, and the air smelled like rain through the open side entrance. Ryan slipped into the auditorium with a rolled-up poster under one arm. I stayed behind the door and watched. He climbed onto the stage. Then he lifted the poster. It was a picture of himself in his soccer uniform, right next to my concert banner. My mouth fell open. That idiot. I pushed the door open and stormed in. Ryan Smith. He froze. Slowly, he turned around. The poster was still in his hands. I smiled. Not nicely. Are you seriously trying to decorate my concert with your face? Ryan looked at the poster, then at me, then back at the poster. I can explain. I stepped inside too fast. Behind me, the heavy backstage side door swung shut. The sound echoed through the darkening room. Neither of us moved. Then Ryan looked over my shoulder. Aiden. What? His smile disappeared. I think that door just locked. I stared at Ryan. Then I stared at the door. Then I stared back at Ryan, because blaming him felt easier. You locked us in. Ryan blinked. I locked us in. You came here with a giant poster of your own face. That is not the same as locking a door. I marched past him and grabbed the handle. It did not move. I pulled harder. Still nothing. The old side door gave one ugly metal click and stayed shut like it had personally chosen violence. We tried the main doors too, but they had already been locked from the hallway after dismissal. Ryan stepped down from the stage, still holding his ridiculous poster. Move. I turned and gave him a look. Excuse me. He pointed at the handle. Let me try. I stepped aside, because fine. Maybe the soccer captain could defeat a door with raw athletic stupidity. Ryan grabbed the handle. Pulled. Pushed. Jiggled it. Then he gave the door one solid shoulder bump. The door did not care. I crossed my arms. Great. Very impressive. Ryan looked at the lock, then at me. It's one of those old self-locking doors. I know that now, Ryan. The auditorium was getting darker by the minute. The storm clouds outside had swallowed the late afternoon light, and the big room around us felt emptier than before. I reached for my pocket. Nothing. Then my stomach dropped. My phone. My keys. My backpack. All outside in the hallway. I remembered setting my bag near the hallway bench when I followed Ryan. I had planned to grab it after catching him. Apparently, my genius plan had one small flaw. My backpack is outside, I said. Ryan's eyes narrowed. Your backpack? With my phone and keys. He stared at me like I had just confessed to destroying civilization. I pointed at him before he could speak. Do not look at me like that. This is still your fault. Ryan dropped his poster onto a seat. How is this my fault? You were trying to hang your face on my stage. You slammed the door. You were committing a crime against my concert. It was not a crime. It was a statement. It was a cry for help. Ryan opened his mouth, then closed it. For 1 second, I thought he might laugh. He did not. Instead, he pulled his phone from his pocket. The screen lit up for half a second. then died. Ryan stared at it. I stared at him. No, I said. He pressed the power button again. Nothing. Ryan. He looked up slowly. My phone's dead. I closed my eyes. Of course it was. The entire universe had decided that if I was going to be trapped somewhere, it should be with Ryan Smith in a dark auditorium next to a poster of his own face. We shouted for help. At first loudly, then louder, then embarrassingly loud. No one answered. The auditorium sat near the back of the school, past the music hallway and the old theater storage rooms. By that time, most students had already left. The custodian usually checked this area right after dismissal, which meant he had already checked it, which meant he probably thought it was empty. A few minutes later, the stage lights flickered once, like the building had finally remembered no one was supposed to be there. Then everything went black. I froze. Ryan's voice came from somewhere near the front row. Did the power just go out? No, Ryan. The room is trying to set a romantic mood. Silence. Then thunder rolled outside. Not close, but close enough. Ryan let out a slow breath. So what do we do now? I leaned back against the locked door and tried not to panic. We wait. Maybe Mr. Henderson comes back to check the stage for tomorrow. And if he doesn't? I looked across the dark room. Ryan was only a shadow now. Then we spend the night here. He went quiet. Then, because he was Ryan, he ruined it. All night. With you. I could hear the grin in his voice. There goes my soccer captain reputation. I folded my arms tighter. Please. I'm the victim here. I'm trapped with a guy who thinks kicking a ball is a personality. Ryan laughed once. Softly. Annoyingly. Outside, rain began tapping against the high auditorium windows. Neither of us said anything after that. For the first time all week, there was no audience. No confessions page. No hallway whispers. No one to impress. Just Ryan, me, and one locked door. For the first 20 minutes, Ryan and I sat on opposite sides of the auditorium. On purpose. He sat in the front row with his long legs stretched out, like being trapped in school after hours was mildly inconvenient instead of completely insane. I sat near the locked door, hugging my knees, pretending I was not cold. The rain got heavier. The sound filled the whole auditorium, soft at first, then steady against the high windows. Ryan unzipped his gym bag. I heard plastic crinkle, then chewing. I turned my head. Are you eating? Ryan froze with half a granola bar in his mouth. No, I stared at him. He swallowed. Maybe. I wanted to ignore him. Then my stomach made a sound loud enough to betray my dignity. Ryan looked at me. I looked away. A second later, something landed near my shoe. A granola bar. I glanced at it, then at him. Ryan shrugged, but his voice was quieter than before. I always keep snacks in my bag. Coach says I get useless when I'm hungry. I picked it up. Coach sounds wise. He is. I opened the wrapper and took a bite. Neither of us spoke for a while. It was strange, sitting there with Ryan in the dark, sharing food like we had not spent half our lives trying to outshine each other. After a few minutes, Ryan leaned back in his seat. Do you remember when I first moved to Maple Street? I laughed under my breath. Unfortunately. Wow. Nice. You stole half the neighborhood in one afternoon. Ryan turned his head toward me. I could barely see his face, but I could feel him looking. I didn't steal anyone. Yes, you did. You showed up with a soccer ball and that stupid smile, and suddenly everyone wanted to play with you. Ryan went quiet. For once, he did not make a joke. I thought you hated me, he said. I looked down at the granola wrapper in my hands. I didn't hate you. That was not completely true, so I corrected myself. Not at first. Ryan laughed softly. There it was again. That laugh I used to find annoying. Tonight, in the dark, it sounded different. I was jealous, I admitted. The words came out before I could stop them. Ryan shifted in his seat. Of me? I nodded, even though he probably could not see it. You were good at everything people noticed. Soccer, running, being confident, walking into a place like you already belonged there. The rain kept falling. Ryan was quiet for so long I thought I had said too much. Then he said, I was jealous of you too. I looked up. What? You were smart. Teachers liked you. Adults trusted you. You could sing in front of people and make a whole room shut up. His voice dropped a little. You always looked like you knew exactly who you were. That almost made me laugh, because I had spent years thinking the opposite. I didn't, I said. Ryan looked toward the stage. Yeah, I guess I didn't either. That was the first moment I understood something. Maybe Ryan had never been my opposite. Maybe he had just been scared in a different direction. A cold draft slipped through the room, and I shivered before I could hide it. Ryan noticed. Of course he did. He stood, took off his soccer jacket, and walked over. Here. I stared at the jacket. I'm fine. You're shaking. I said I'm fine. Ryan held it out anyway. I took it because pride was important, but so was not freezing to death in a high school auditorium. The jacket was warm. Too warm. I pulled it around my shoulders. Thanks, I muttered. It smells like someone wore it after running 100 laps. Ryan sat down beside me, leaving a careful space between us. So you're not wearing it. I pulled it tighter. I didn't say that. He laughed. This time, I laughed too. Then thunder cracked so loud the windows seemed to shake. My hands flew to my ears. Ryan turned immediately. Wait. His voice lifted. Are you scared of thunder? I glared at him. Don't. Oh, this is huge. Westbrook's heartthrob. Afraid of thunder. Ryan. He grinned. Even in the dark, I could see it. And that was the problem. Up close, with his jacket around my shoulders and rain behind him, Ryan did not look like my enemy. He looked almost cute, which was horrifying. Before I could think about that too hard, footsteps echoed outside. Ryan and I both jumped up. We shouted until Mr. Henderson finally unlocked the door, looking more confused than angry. After we explained, he only sighed and told us to go home before he called our parents himself. The rain was still falling hard when we stepped outside. My car was parked all the way across campus in the student lot, which suddenly felt like another state. Ryan's car was closer, near the side lot by the athletic fields. He looked at the rain, then at me. I'll drive you home. I have a car, I said. Ryan glanced toward the dark parking lot. Great. Then your car can enjoy the rain by itself tonight. I wanted to argue. I also wanted dry socks. So I got in his car. When we pulled up in front of my house, my mom opened the front door. Her eyes moved from me to Ryan. Ryan? Wow. It's been a long time since I saw you two together. My face went hot. It was raining, I said quickly. He just gave me a ride. Then I ran upstairs before she could smile any wider. By Saturday morning, the whole story had changed. Not at school. Online. The Westbrook Confessions page had already done what it did best. It took a small truth, removed all context, and made it unbearable. Not the true story, obviously. The true story was that Ryan tried to sabotage my benefit concert with a poster of his own face. I caught him. I accidentally locked us both inside the auditorium, and Mr. Henderson found us before our parents had to file missing person reports. That was not the version Westbrook High got. The version Westbrook High got was much shorter. Ryan and Aiden spent Friday night together in the dark auditorium. That was it. No context. No poster. No locked door. Just enough information to make my phone explode before breakfast. Mason texted me before I even got out of bed. So, that was all he sent. I stared at the screen. No. His reply came immediately. I didn't even ask anything. You were going to. A second later, another message appeared. Did you and Ryan have fun in the dark? I threw my phone onto the blanket and stared at the ceiling. I knew exactly where the rumor came from. Mr. Henderson's daughter, Emily, was a sophomore at Westbrook. She was nice enough, but she had the survival instincts of a news reporter. If her dad mentioned finding two juniors locked in the auditorium after school, that story was going to have legs by breakfast. By noon, I had heard 3 different versions in group chats. In one, Ryan and I were fighting. In another, we were secretly rehearsing something. In the worst one, we had planned the whole thing. I hated that one most, because Ryan and I had barely planned anything successfully in our lives. My car was still sitting in the student lot from the night before, so I got a ride to school with Wendy from music club that afternoon. She spent the whole drive asking why Ryan Smith had suddenly become part of my weather-related emergency transportation system. I told her to focus on the concert. She did not. The benefit concert was Saturday evening in the auditorium. It was small, just students, a few parents, some teachers, and a donation table near the entrance for the music room's new microphones and speakers. I told myself to focus. Not on the rumor. Not on Ryan. Definitely not on Ryan's jacket, which I had returned that morning without looking at him for more than 2 seconds. When I stepped onto the stage, the lights were warm on my face. The room went quiet. That was the one place I usually knew what to do. So I sang. For 3 minutes. Everything else disappeared. The confessions post. The hallway whispers. The memory of thunder. Ryan's smile in the dark. Then the song ended, and people clapped. I looked toward the back of the auditorium. Ryan was standing near the aisle. For a second, I forgot how to breathe. He was not with his teammates. He was not laughing with anyone. He just stood there in his soccer jacket, watching me like he had actually come to listen. After the concert, I was packing my guitar when someone stepped beside me. A cold water bottle appeared in front of my face. I looked up. "Ryan, you sounded good," he said. Not teasing, not smirking, just quiet. I took the bottle slowly. "What are you doing?" His eyebrows lifted. "Giving you water?" "No, I mean here." Ryan glanced around the auditorium. "It's a public fundraiser." I narrowed my eyes. "What are you planning?" He let out a small laugh, but it sounded softer than usual. "Nothing. I just came to support the music room." I waited for the punchline. There wasn't one. That made it worse. "Oh," I said. Then, because I had manners and my mom had raised me under threat, I added, "Thanks." Ryan looked like he wanted to say something else. His fingers tightened around the strap of his gym bag. "Aiden," I looked at him. "Yeah." His eyes held mine for half a second too long. Then he looked away. "Nothing. I should head home." "Of course." Ryan Smith, master of almost saying things. "Okay," I said. "Thanks for coming." He took one step back, then stopped. "I have a tournament game tomorrow at 10. You could come watch." I blinked. He cleared his throat. "You could come. Watch, I mean." I stared at him. This was suspicious. Very suspicious. But he had come to my concert. He had stood there quietly. He had given me water. So I shrugged, trying not to smile. "Sure. I'm free tomorrow anyway. Better than staying home and listening to my mom complain about the laundry." Ryan's face changed immediately, like I had just handed him a trophy. "Great," he said. "Remember to come." Then he turned and jogged out of the auditorium before I could answer. I watched him go, and all I could think was, something was seriously wrong with Ryan Smith. I was late. Of course I was late. Sunday morning, I opened my eyes, saw sunlight all over my ceiling, and knew immediately that something was wrong. Then I remembered. Ryan's game. I sat up so fast my blanket nearly came with me. My phone said 10:20. The game had started at 10. I was not late. I was catastrophically late. "Great," I muttered. "Perfect. Amazing friend behavior." Friend. That word still felt new. I threw on jeans, a hoodie, and the cleanest sneakers I could find, then ran downstairs. My mom looked up from the kitchen table. "Going somewhere?" "Ryan's soccer game." Her eyebrows lifted. I pointed at her before she could smile. "Do not." She raised both hands. I didn't say anything. "You were about to." I grabbed my keys and left before she could prove me right. Westbrook's soccer field was less than 10 minutes from my house if I drove like a responsible person. I did not drive like a responsible person. By the time I got there, the field was already crowded. Not packed, but busy enough. Parents in folding chairs. Students near the fence. Someone from the booster club selling bottled water and chips under a blue tent. The scoreboard said Westbrook was down by 2 goals. Halftime was almost over. Perfect. I had arrived just in time to watch Ryan panic. A few students near the bleachers noticed me. One girl nudged her friend. Another looked toward the field. Then, like high school had no survival instinct, the little wave of whispers started. Ryan was standing with his team near the sideline, drinking water while Coach Daniels talked to them. His shoulders looked tense. His hair was damp, and his face did not have its usual annoying confidence. Someone behind me whispered, "He's been off today." Another voice answered, "Yeah, he keeps missing passes." I should not have cared. I cared. Then Ryan looked up. His eyes found mine across the field. For 1 second, everything else got quiet. Then his whole face changed. He straightened like someone had flipped a switch. Before I could decide what to do, Ryan jogged toward me. His teammates watched. The students near the fence watched. I hated all of them. Ryan stopped in front of me, breathing a little hard. "I thought you weren't coming." I held out the water bottle I had bought at the booster table. "Sorry, I overslept." His fingers brushed mine when he took it. A very normal thing. Completely normal. I ignored it. "I came to watch you lose miserably," I added. Ryan's smile came back. There it was. That stupid smile. "Too bad," he said, twisting the cap off. "I'm not losing." The referee blew the whistle. Ryan backed away, still looking at me. "Watch me." Then he ran back onto the field. And somehow he meant it. The second half was ridiculous. Ryan moved like the entire game had been waiting for me to show up. He stole the ball near midfield, sprinted past 2 defenders, and scored his first goal less than 5 minutes in. The Westbrook side erupted. Ryan turned toward the bleachers. toward me, and smiled. I laughed before I could stop myself. That was one, I muttered. Then he scored again. And again. By the fourth goal, even I had to admit it was impressive. Annoyingly impressive. Each time, he looked over like the goal belonged to me. Like he had kicked it straight across the field and placed it at my feet. My chest felt strange. Warm. Restless. The final whistle blew with Westbrook ahead. Ryan's teammates crowded him, slapping his back and shouting. I waited near the fence, pretending I had not spent the last half hour smiling like an idiot. A few minutes later, Ryan walked over. So, he asked. His hair was messy. His face was bright. I crossed my arms. It was not bad. Ryan stared at me. Not bad. I shrugged. I've seen worse. Aiden, I scored 4 goals. Fine. I tried not to laugh. It was good. His smile softened. Good enough for lunch. I blinked. What about your team? We're celebrating tonight. He stepped closer, just enough that I noticed. Right now, I'm hungry. I was hungry too. So we went to a diner near school, the kind with red booths, laminated menus, and fries that tasted better than they should. When the waitress came, Ryan ordered first. Then he looked at her and said, "No mushrooms on his burger." I froze. The waitress walked away. I turned slowly. "Are you stalking me, Smith?" Ryan laughed. "No. I remember your 10th birthday. Your mom made you try mushrooms, and you looked like you were being punished by the government." I stared at him. "You remember that?" His smile got smaller. Of course. For a moment, neither of us said anything. Then Ryan looked down at the table. "It's been a long time since we sat together like this." "Middle school," I said. "Yeah." He tapped one finger against his glass. "You were hard to talk to back then." I raised an eyebrow. "You were always trying to outshine me." Ryan laughed. "So were you." I wanted to argue, but he was right. So I laughed too. After a quiet moment, Ryan looked at me again. No teasing this time. "So," he said, "can we be friends now?" I looked at him. At the boy who used to steal my spotlight. At the boy who had just scored 4 goals and somehow made me feel like I had won something. I smiled. "Okay," I said. "Friends." By Monday morning, Westbrook Confessions had found its new favorite hobby. Me, Ryan, and one very blurry video of him scoring, turning toward the bleachers, and smiling at me like I had personally invented soccer. The caption said, "Ryan scored 4 goals after Aiden showed up." Coincidence? I hated that question, mostly because I had no answer. At lunch, I was sitting with Mason when the cafeteria got weirdly loud. Mason looked over my shoulder. "Oh, this should be good." I turned. Ryan was walking toward our table with his tray in one hand and that stupid confident smile on his face. People noticed. Of course they noticed. Ryan stopped beside me like this was completely normal. "Want to eat outside?" I stared at him. Mason made a noise that sounded like he was choking on joy. A girl at the next table whispered, "Wait, are they friends now?" I stood up before the whole cafeteria could turn into a courtroom. "We are just friends going to lunch," I said, looking around. Everybody calmed down. Ryan leaned closer to the nearest table. "We've been friends since we were 8. That made people even more confused. Someone said, "Really? I thought you two hated each other." Ryan looked at me. I looked at him. Then we both said, "No," at the exact same time. That did not help the rumors. After that, Ryan came to get me for lunch every day. At first, I told myself it was temporary. Then temporary became a week. Then 2. We ate outside when the weather was good. We argued about fries. We talked about old neighborhood memories neither of us admitted we remembered. In classes we shared, Ryan started sitting beside me instead of across the room. Somehow, it became normal. Worse than normal. It became comfortable. Then Ryan asked me to tutor him. "I'm not failing," he said one afternoon, dropping his notebook on my desk. I looked at the red mark on his quiz. "Ryan." He covered it with his hand. "I'm academically endangered." That was how he ended up in my bedroom on a Wednesday night, sitting at my desk while I tried to explain American literature. My mom nearly dropped a dish towel when she saw him. "Ryan," she said, smiling too wide. "I haven't seen you two together like this in years." Ryan stood straighter immediately. "Hi, Mrs. Miller." My mom looked between us. "I thought you boys were mad at each other." "We're not," we said together. Again, my mom's smile got worse. "Well, good. Go study. Dinner will be ready soon." "Ryan, you're staying." Ryan opened his mouth. She pointed the dish towel at him. That was not a question. Upstairs, Ryan sat on the edge of my desk chair while I opened his textbook. "Okay," I said. Miss Caldwell already gave you a final warning, so please pretend to care. Yes, sir. I started explaining the chapter. For once, Ryan was quiet. Too quiet. I looked up. He was staring at me. Not at the book. At me. My face got warm. Ryan, what are you looking at? He blinked like I had caught him stealing. Nothing. That was not nothing. He rubbed the back of his neck. I just never thought I'd be sitting in your room like this. I looked around my room. The old soccer trophy from when I was 10 still sat on my shelf. A poster from last year's school musical hung beside my closet. Ryan's knees were almost hitting my desk because he was too tall for everything. I laughed softly. Yeah, it is kind of weird. Ryan smiled. Not bad weird. I looked away first. Study. At dinner, Ryan betrayed me by getting along with my parents immediately. My dad asked about soccer. My mom asked about his mother, Lisa. That part was not strange. Our moms had been friends since Ryan moved to Maple Street. When we were kids, our families used to end up at the same backyard barbecues, birthday parties, and 4th of July cookouts. Even after Ryan and I stopped hanging around each other, our moms never really stopped talking. They just stopped forcing us to stand in the same room and pretend we were normal. Ryan answered everything politely, laughed at my dad's bad jokes, and complimented my mom's lasagna. I sat there like the guest. Then my mom said, "Oh, Aiden, I almost forgot. Lisa called last week." Ryan froze slightly. I noticed. My mom kept going. The Smiths are having work done on their house starting next weekend. Plumbing, floors, something like that. Lisa asked if Ryan could stay with us for a while. His grandmother's place is almost 40 minutes from school. I stopped eating. Mom, I wasn't sure at first, she said. I thought you two didn't get along. But after today, I called Lisa and said yes. Mom, she smiled sweetly. If you're still upset, honey, the storage room is available. Ryan pressed his lips together, trying not to laugh. I pointed my fork at him. Do not. Later, after dinner, Ryan helped me carry plates to the kitchen. His voice was quieter when he spoke. Hey, if you don't want me here, I can tell my mom. I'll stay with my grandma and wake up earlier. I leaned against the counter. He looked nervous. Ryan Smith. Nervous. That did something strange to my chest. I didn't say no, I said. I was just surprised. His face brightened. So you're okay with it? I pretended to think. Sure. You can sleep on the floor. Ryan laughed. And somehow I did too. Ryan moved in the next Saturday. Temporarily. That was the word everyone kept using. My mom said it while making space in the hall closet. Ryan's mom said it while dropping off 2 duffel bags and a laundry basket full of clothes. Ryan said it with a grin as he carried his pillow into my room. I told myself the word mattered. Temporarily meant normal life would come back soon. Then Ryan looked around my bedroom like he had just entered enemy territory. My mom had offered to set up an air mattress, but I told her not to bother. Ryan was only staying for about a month, and I did not want my room turned into a camping site. So he said, "Where's my room?" I pointed to the floor near my desk. There. Ryan stared at the empty space. Then he looked at my bed. It was big. Too big, according to my mom. I liked having space when I slept, so I had refused to let anyone replace it with something smaller. Ryan looked back at me with the saddest expression I had ever seen on a 6-foot soccer player. Aiden, you have a bed big enough for a small country, and you'd still make me sleep on the floor? Yes. He held the look. I lasted 3 seconds. Then I laughed. Fine, I said. You can sleep on the bed. Ryan's face lit up. I lifted one finger. But only if you shower very carefully. I do not want my bed smelling like the entire soccer team. Ryan put one hand over his heart. Yes, sir. That became our life. Ryan and I woke up in the same room. The first morning, I opened my eyes and found my arm thrown across his waist. For 3 full seconds, my soul left my body. Ryan was still asleep, breathing quietly, his hair messy against my pillow like he belonged there. I pulled my arm back so fast I almost fell off the bed. Ryan stirred. I froze. He did not wake up. I stared at the ceiling, wide awake, and decided I would rather fail every class than ever talk about that moment. After that, I slept closer to the edge. At least, I tried. We went to school in the same car, ate lunch together, sat beside each other in class, came home together, studied at my desk until Ryan complained that his brain was melting. By Monday morning, someone had seen Ryan get out of my car with his backpack still half open and his hair still damp from the shower upstairs. So, of course, Westbrook confessions exploded again. Ryan is living with Aiden now? This is not helping the rumors. At this point, are they even rumors? I expected to be embarrassed. I should have been embarrassed. But after a few days, I stopped caring. Ryan came to my music rehearsals and leaned against the back wall like he belonged there. I went to his soccer practices and sat on the bleachers with my homework open, even though I barely read a word. People got used to it. So did we. That was the dangerous part. One night, we were lying in bed with the lights off. Ryan had one arm behind his head, and I was trying to pretend his shoulder was not warm against mine. He broke the silence first. You don't have a girlfriend. I turned my head. Neither do you. I have options. So do I. Ryan made a quiet sound, almost a laugh. I have dozens of girls chasing me. I stared at the ceiling. That's cute. I have hundreds. He laughed for real this time, and the mattress shifted under us. For a moment, it felt normal. Too normal. Then Ryan's voice dropped a little. Did you see the confessions post? There are many confessions posts. The one about us. I knew which one. Of course I knew. Someone had posted that Ryan and I acted like a couple, and everyone was just waiting for us to admit it. I had read it twice. Maybe 3 times. I rolled onto my side, facing away from him. It's stupid. Ryan did not answer right away. They said maybe that's why neither of us has a girlfriend. My chest tightened. I forced a laugh. That's crazy. Yeah, Ryan said softly. Crazy. The room went quiet again. Outside, a car passed slowly down our street. Its headlights moved across my wall, then disappeared. Ryan shifted behind me. Aiden. I swallowed. What? His voice was careful now. Too careful. What if it wasn't crazy? I went still. Ryan did not move either. What if? He stopped, then started again. What if the two of us really were in love? My heart kicked hard. I turned toward him too fast. What is wrong with you? Ryan's expression changed immediately. Not hurt exactly, but guarded. He looked away. Nothing. Forget it. Ryan, it's late, he said, pulling the blanket higher. We should sleep. I stared at him in the dark, but he closed his eyes. Conversation over. I turned away again, even though every part of me felt awake now. Ryan was impossible. He said strange things, then ran away from them. He smiled like he knew. Secrets. Then acted like nothing happened. And now he had put one thought in my head that would not leave. What if he liked me? No, that was ridiculous. Ryan was my neighbor, my rival, my friend, my very annoying, very warm friend lying beside me. I closed my eyes. Then, against my will, I smiled. Because maybe Ryan was also kind of cute. And that was the worst discovery of all. After that night, Ryan did not bring up the confessions post again. Neither did I. We went back to normal, or whatever normal meant for us. Ryan still came to my rehearsals and sat in the back like my unofficial security guard. I still went to his soccer practices and pretended to do homework while watching him run across the field. People stopped whispering after a while. Not because they stopped noticing. Because Ryan and I being together had become boring. At Westbrook High, that was basically acceptance. Then, too soon, the repairs on Ryan's house were finished. His mom called on a Thursday night and said he could move back the next afternoon. Ryan told me while we were both lying on my bed, the lights off, the room quiet except for the hum of my ceiling fan. So, he said, staring at the ceiling. Last night here, I kept my voice casual. Finally, my bed gets its freedom back. Ryan turned his head toward me. You're going to miss me. I snorted. I'm going to miss the day I can stretch my legs without kicking a soccer captain. He smiled in the dark. You're losing a 155-pound body pillow. Don't regret it. I don't want your body pillow services. That's not what your arms say every morning. I froze. Ryan's smile got worse. You hug me so tight I can't move. I turned onto my side to face him. That's the price you pay for sleeping in my bed. Ryan looked at me for a second. Then his voice softened. That price doesn't sound so bad. The room changed. Just a little. My smile faded. Ryan. I mean it, he said. He was not teasing now. That was the problem. When Ryan got serious, he looked directly at you. No smirk. No escape. Just those eyes, steady and too honest. I swallowed. Don't joke about that. I'm not. My heart started beating harder. Ryan shifted. Closer, but not enough to touch me. Aiden, I like you. The words landed quietly. Still, they felt louder than thunder. He took a breath. More than a friend. I stared at him. For once, I had nothing clever to say. Are you serious? Ryan nodded. Yeah. His fingers curled slightly into the blanket. I've been holding it in for a long time. I tried to laugh, but it came out too weak. Since when? Ryan looked down for a moment. I think since the auditorium. My chest warmed. Ryan, or maybe before that, he admitted. Maybe since we were kids. Since Maple Street. Since I kept trying to get your attention and somehow made you hate me instead. I looked at him. Really looked at him. The boy who had moved 3 doors down when we were 8. The boy I had raced in backyards, argued with at birthday parties, competed against in hallways, and somehow ended up sharing a bed with. I thought you were trying to beat me, I said. Ryan gave me a small, embarrassed smile. I was trying to make you look at me. The honesty in his voice made my throat tight. He laughed under his breath. I guess I approached it wrong. I could not help it. I smiled. You're so stupid. Ryan's face fell just a little. Then I added, but kind of cute. His eyes lifted fast. Kind of. Do not push your luck. Ryan stared at me, hope slowly spreading across his face. So I looked away. Only for a second. Because if I looked at him too long, I was afraid he would see everything. Then I decided maybe that was the point. Yeah, I said quietly. I like you too. Ryan stopped breathing. I smiled, suddenly shy in a way I hated. But only recently. He laughed, soft and bright. Right? Recently. I mean it. Of course. He moved a little closer. So my approach finally worked? I rolled my eyes. Unfortunately. Ryan's smile turned careful. Then should we date? I looked at him. At the ridiculous boy beside me. At my neighbor. My rival. My best friend. Ryan, I said. Don't you think we've basically been dating for the past month? He blinked. Then he laughed. Yeah, I guess we have. The silence after that was not awkward. It was warm. Ryan looked at me. I looked back. Neither of us moved away. Then he leaned closer. Slowly. Like he was giving me every chance to stop him. I did not. Our kiss was quiet. Soft. Nothing like the competitions we used to have. No winner. No loser. Just us. And that was how the boy next door, my childhood rival, became the person I wanted beside me every day after that.